today, as Lawrence was saying, we it's our first Sunday of May. Can you believe that? Yes, May. And today, our monthly theme is good to great to grand. That's the monthly theme. And today's title is Exploring Your Inner World. Imagine. Not so many of us, the more I am in this path, I realize that not too many people like to be there because it can be very uncomfortable. It can be very challenging. And so, but today we are inviting you to trust the process of life and to and to allow yourself to explore the essential elements of the inner world, because when we go within, we can bring that beauty outside. And imagine, is each one of us do that, we will really have a world that I believe that most of us will love to live in. Not
Mm.
only for us to live in, but for our to live to our future generation, our children, our grandchildren, and all our families. I believe that it's not just about us, but we're really thinking about our future generations. And so everything that we do, it's about that. And the beautiful thing about it is that the only way, three of the ways that I know that we can go within and bring that within to the out is by self-actualization, taking time to observe, simply observation of yourself, of what's going on around the world, what's going on in your family, just, and most importantly for yourself, what's going on within yourself, because today we're speaking about your inner world. So it's observation of yourself, and be curious about what's going on. No need to judge, you just be curious, and now you can discover the power that is within you. You can get that power within you. So these are the qualities that you know that if you take the time to do that, you can grow spiritually, emotionally, and in every way. And that's what we're going to be speaking today. Lawrence is going to chime in and speak about these things that we believe that if we take the time to do that, we can definitely become the people that we want to see in the world. It has to start with us. That's what I know. What do you think? What is your input into this, Lawrence?
God, there's a gazillion things I could think about. I think one of the first things I would say is that in the process of like self-inquiry or self-discovery, Ellen, you actually mentioned it. And I think the biggest key in doing that is being graceful and compassionate to oneself.
Mm,
Because I think when we start to look inside, there's a tendency to go with looking at the things that we've already know or decided about ourselves, and we look from that place. And actually, that is can be somewhat detrimental. And like Evan said just now, it's like you could find yourself in a place of self-judgment. Well, the whole I'm looking at in the process of self-inquiry or self-discovery that to give oneself a lot of altitude, give yourself a lot of
mm,
altitude, to give yourself a lot of grace, to be compassionate with yourself. Um, I mean, because one of the things I think about, coming from a biblical background, is that Jesus says that, like, we are in the world, but not of the world. So there's a lot of what we look at as far as being in the world. But if we don't come with the inquiry of understanding that this is not of where we're from, but come from the understanding of who we are, there's going to be a whole different perspective of looking and seeing. And the other thing that comes in my mind is in the process of inquiry, once again, with a lot of altitude, is that when something comes up, just notice and isn't that interesting? Wow, Isn't that interesting? And not to keep it at that place of altitude where it doesn't condense into self-judgment, self-degradation, and noticing if something is coming up, there's something there, I believe, for the divine to blossom, to actually to expand to, or even settle deeper into. And so that's the one thing that comes to my mind as you speak about self-discovery in our conversation today.
I love what you just said, because it goes into this quote that Ernest Holmes wrote on his book, Science of Mind, page 72, which is like our Bible in YouTube teachings. Um, Life waits upon our discovery of natural law, our discovery of ourselves, and our discovery of our relationships to the great whole. That's
Mhm.
basically what you have just said, right? We go within, and we get to discover what's in it without judging it. And it's not as easy, because most we live in a world that we're judged most of the times.
Judgment machines.
And it's like we are in most of the time. I remember when I didn't even realize I was judging. It took some practice to know what I was doing, and to notice the judgment and what it was doing, what it was um causing, that judgment. What was that causing? How I was feeling, my emotions, my perceptions, taking things personal,
Hmm.
assumptions. Oh my God.
Hmm. And the
Judgment can do all
conversations
that.
and the conversations that we had growing up as kids, the conversations that we may have picked up from parents, or we may have picked up from teachers or older sibling or something. That we don't really pay much attention to it because, oh, that happened, so it must be. But the reality is, it's simply a belief that is contrary to actually who God has created us to be. And in discovery, it's an opportunity to look at that belief. And if it's not in alignment with who we are created to be, lay that puppy down. Lay it down.
I like that. Lay that puppy down. As a English second language person, some sayings make me laugh more than others.
uh, I know what you mean.
So this is very interesting what you just said. Lay that puppy down. That's simple. You heard that? That's how
Yeah,
simple it is. And what
yeah.
I know is that a lot of the things that we speak about, they sound simple, Lawrence, but they're not that easy to do,
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
and I like to, whenever I'm in front of people, whether it's live or in person, I like to go back to where I used to be in consciousness and in my inner world. And also it helps me because I coach constantly, every week I coach people, then I get to hear them speak and come from that, and be that they are in that place, and then I can say to myself, interesting, have you thought about this? Do you look at it
mhm,
this way? And so
mhm,
that's the beauty of having a practitioner, or a practitioner session, or a coaching session with a holistic entrepreneur, with a holistic coach, where they can hear you speak, because a lot of times we're not even aware of it. That's what I know, right? A lot of times we're
mhm,
not even aware of it. And so it really helps us to go into that place of observation and introspection. And from
mhm,
that, as we do that, then then we can grow from that and continue to practice. Because what I know is that it's about the practice, right? So my question to you is, what would be a practice that you incorporate in in the process of you gaining insight, as you observe and you become aware of what's going on in your inner world, um, do you do? What triggers you becoming aware of it? Is it your emotions? Is it your beliefs? What is it? Can you share with our people? How do you go about that?
I would say for myself that the very first practice, and actually I was in conversation with my wife we were in conversation this morning about a practice. And I would say the primary practice is one in which if I could, I would use affirmations or quotes or anything that brings me back to the consciousness of me being an expression of the divine. I have on my phone, on the screen when it's not on, and I have in my truck plastered on the front the statement that says, I and my Father are one. Because even throughout the day, I think it's important to have a memory, a recall of exactly who we are, because it is from our doing and the expressions of that, the doings, the outplays of life, comes from actually our being. And so if I am realigning, retraining my thought process to come from a place of, in reality, who I am truly, um, it is going to, what's the word? It's going to begin to um, be etched into my consciousness about where I'm coming from and who I am. It's going to outplay in everything that I do. Another thing that I think, and the one thing about meditation is that one has to find a resonation or a vibration of meditation that works for them. Um, Paying attention to your breath, or repeating a mantra of some sort, if that works for you. Um, my son says to me is that when he recognizes, understand himself as the divine more than anything else, it's when he's coming down the mountain on his snowboard. Personally, for me, it is the quieting of the mind. It is simply noticing the thoughts as if they were clouds and just letting them pass through. If I notice when I am in a place of being silent or meditating, and the mind gets distracted, or whatever thoughts come in. I mean, thoughts are always going to come in. I mean, it's like they're going to come in. But the practice for me is recognizing that I'm in that thought and taking a deep breath and letting that thought go, letting that thought be dismissed, regardless of what the thought is. I mean, regardless of what it is, and to bring that breath back to a place of centering. It feels more like uh, um, really a thing of just coming home, of just settling into who I am. And that, as far as a practice, I think is another practice, is our spiritual study, is to saturate, to literally saturate the consciousness with who the divine has expressed itself in you and as you, to be able to go to sacred texts or to quotes or to readings, to, I think it was beautiful that Ellen talked about, and which I think is so valuable, is to be able to meet with or to discuss or have a session with a practitioner who will stand to know the truth of who you are, despite, and I love that word that she used, despite whatever situation or circumstance that you're engaging. Because that situation or circumstance at some place, if everything starts in consciousness, if everything starts in consciousness, was then is simply the situation and circumstance is simply a reflection of what's in consciousness. So in order to, I would assert, in order to clean up any situation and circumstances, is to find a practice upon which the consciousness is being aligned interwoven into the reality of life. And that is that we are an expression of that has caused everything to be. Now, some would go, now, wait a minute, you don't know my life. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what happened to me. You don't. I'm saying that which has hung the universes, the galaxies, stopped the water at the shore, that same divine essence has expressed itself as you. It's expressed itself as you. And I believe that the more that we can come back to that simple point, and I think to that simple point, and I think if we look at the history of religion, if we look at the history of new thought, what is at the basis and what is at the precipice is I and the divine are one. Now, I don't know the fullness of that, but I do believe that as I continue to rehearse that, as I continue to practice that, it weaves itself into that part of me that is in the world. I recognize that I'm not of the world, and in that practice of reminding myself, reminding ourselves to go back to not like go back in the sense that we ever left, because we can't leave. There's no there's no place to go. We're right here with the one all the time. But to bring the consciousness back into the light of recognizing that who and what I am, first and foremost, regardless of any situation, circumstances around me, as that I am the expression of the Most High. And it is from that place that whatever situation and circumstance that is around me that I want to engage, I engage from that place. Thinking from the thinking that if I simply come from it from my human aspect of thinking, now I'm just going to show up just like the rest of the world. But I don't think that's who we were called to be. I don't think that's where we were called to operate in this world as. It is not so much a responding to the world, but what is it that I want to bring? What is the light that I want to be shown in the world? What is that me being like a sunbeam from the sun? What is it that I want to contribute in the world? What is it that the divine is working in and through and as me to express in this world, to express in my family, to express in my personal affairs, to express in my purpose, to like, what is that? And so the conversation of self-inquiry with compassion, with softness, like Ellen said, it's something, it's just, they're going to continue to show their head. They're going to continue to show up. But the practice of being graceful to oneself and settling back into the reality of, I am an expression of the divine. If that's the one and only affirmation one I could choose, that would be it. Because I think everything else extends from that place.
Hmm. You really cover everything. We can leave now. No, for real. That you cover a lot, and you cover a lot, and I love about how divine does this, because I let it be. I do my preparation. By then, I say, okay. I let go. I let it be. I know it's going to be perfect. And I'm hearing you speak, and I was just like, he covered all my questions already. There's no more questions to ask.
I I thought the same. I thought the same thing when you were talking. Like she's already said everything I'm gonna say.
But I love what you cover at the beginning when you said that you have on your phone. Um, I am my
I am the father
father's.
one.
I'm in the Father I won. And I had this quote that says, "There's an inner life into which we may plunge, an inner consciousness in which we may bathe, as water purifies itself by flowing, so our inner realization of the flow of life purifies the stagnant pools." That's Ernest
Mhm,
Holm, 10 Ideas That Make a Difference, page 56. I really
mm,
love that because that's a good reminder, and and you cover so much for those of you that are listening. And if you missed it, just rewind it because it's recording, and you can go back to everything that you have said, Lawrence, because you cover practices that each one of us can do. And the most important thing and most powerful thing I think it is to find what works for you. You said it so beautifully.
exactly.
Find
Exactly.
what works for you, because for me it might for you it might be a mantra, it might be that reminder on your phone, but for
Hmm.
you guys that are listening to us, you have to take the time to find what works for you. We are just here sharing what we in our own experience have done, different practices. Every single day I don't do the same practice. Every single day I do different practice because I allow myself to be curious. I allow
Hmm.
myself to expand and to try different things. I can do mantras, I can do affirmations, I can sit with
Hmm.
an affirmation and just repeat that affirmation and feel that affirmation. Okay, because if you're not feeling that affirmation, then you're not doing anything. You're just saying words, and that doesn't mean anything. We live
Hmm.
in a feeling universe. Emotion, is the emotions,
Vibration.
because emotions are vibrations. And so if you're
Hmm.
not feeling, if there's no emotions into what you're saying, you're just wasting your time. That I can say to you. So make
Hmm.
sure that whatever you're saying, it is affirming what you believe and what you feel it is so to be. It is so for you. Okay, it is your truth. You know it's your truth. Um, and another thing that I love what you said, that your son, his practice, right? When he's up in the mountain, he comes down, that's where he feels the peace. I love the beach. I love the beach, and for me, the beach is my sanctuary. I can have the waters of my inner world, very disturbed at times. And I go to the beach and I could just sit, and I feel that the waves that they go in and out. I can reflect on the ocean, and I feel that my emotions are the waves. And as they go in and out, and as I see the tides of the water go down and the waves calm down, I'm just like, wow, I am too the water. I
Hmm.
am too the water. My emotions is the water. I can calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Regardless of what's going on. You're always gonna hear me say regardless of what's going on, because
Hmm.
we all have stories, and sometimes we compete which story is better or worse, right? And so we say,
Hmm.
oh, you can do that because you don't know what has gone with me. What's going on in my life. You have no idea the terrible things that have happened in my life. And you know what? I will never belittle what you have gone through. Never.
Hmm.
Because it is so for you. But what I know is that regardless of what's going on or what had happened to you, you too can overcome that. You too can see beyond that appearance or that
Hmm.
condition that you experience. And so
Hmm.
I really love that you say you have to find the one that works for you. You
You
have to
know,
go within.
one of the things, as you said that about being just a quick share is before my dad passed. One time we were having a phone conversation, and he goes, "You've been fishing lately?" And I go, "No, I haven't." And he goes, "How come?" And I go, "I've been too busy." And he says to me, "You're not doing something right in your life." And I go, "What?" He goes, your life is out of balance if you can't go fishing." And he said to me, he goes, "I don't go fishing just to catch fish." He goes, "I go to a place good to go fishing so that it's quiet there. There's no one else there. I can contemplate. I
Mm,
can think. I can have, stuff that goes on between you and your mom. I can think about it. I can come to a place. It's like if I'm under pressure, if I'm just out there." He goes, "Fishing is not about catching fish. Fishing is about being." And I
mm,
think that sometimes, like the whole thing of like, what is a practice? I think some of us may have practices that we actually enjoy, but because we think that they're like, "Oh, this is a fun thing that I love to do," that we don't experience the passion and the love and the openness in that particular thing, like Ellen going to the beach, or my son on a snowboard, or me with a fishing pole. So the thing is, what is it that that you already love, that you are practicing, that you could possibly even enhance?
I love what you just said because you know what? When I started taking dance lessons, and I used to think that I love to dance, but when I met some dancers, I say no, I like to dance. I learned that I like to dance because these people can dance, and it came to me that dancing is their religion.
Mm,
Dancing, they feel in their own beingness, they feel alive, they feel in the present moment, because when I dance, I forget about everything. I don't
hmm
even if I'm going through something, what I need to do is go dance.
Yeah.
That's another practice that I do because I can just forget about everything while I'm
hmm
dancing. I am being so present with
hmm
my body and
hmm
every the music, and the music is vibrational, you see. And
hmm
so it is so true what you just said. If there's anything that you have gotten today that we would really love you to remember, is to ask yourself, as you go within your world, right? What is it that you love to do, that when you do it, you feel like time just go and you are just present in that you are doing? If there's
hmm
anything that we can leave you with, it's that is meditation.
hmm
That is being in the presence of your
hmm
divinity, okay, of the divinity. Is That's how it's expressing in you, as you, through you, okay. And so I we want to leave you with that question. What is it that I do, that I love to do, that the time can go by and I could just do it? Okay, ask yourself that question
mm.
and do it more. Just like your father said, you're not fishing, huh? You're not, something is not right. So if you're not
hmm
doing what you love to do, that is the key. That was beautiful what you said, Lawrence. Powerful.
Now I want to go dancing more. When you come back with the kids.
Yes, 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 yes. So,
Okay.
so that's my invitation to you. My invitation is, go within and ask yourself, what is it that I haven't been doing that I love and that I enjoy doing, and that when I do it, time just flies and I feel
Mm,
happy. I feel present. And the reason why you feel present, and the reason why you feel joyful, why you feel at peace, why you feel calm, is because you are in the present moment. And that's
mm,
what is being in the divine love. That's what is.
mhm.
It's nothing other than that.
Yeah.
It's being in the present, because the divinity, divine, It's not in the future, it's not in the past, it's
Not
in
in
the
the past.
nowness. It's
Right now.
right now, like what we are doing
Mhm,
right now. I can feel it in
mhm,
my bones, and
mhm.
just so excited that we can leave you with this. I could not have
Mhm.
thought about this, Lawrence. I told you. I promise you, you did not thought about that idea of your father telling you about the fishing.
No, no, I did not. No, no, I did not. That wasn't planned.
I wasn't planning to talk about my dancing. So this is the beauty of allowing spirit to just flow through us. And as
Hmm.
you'll see us
Hmm.
allowing spirit flow through us, it does flow through you. I have no doubt in my mind. Because what I
Hmm.
know is that there's not one thing that God is not in. That's what I know.
Mm.
And
Amen.
so, in that space of that knowledge, of that acknowledging, I want to invite you to for our affirmations. Okay, I think that is a great way for us to go into our affirmations. I invite you to take a deep breath. Okay, take a deep breath. That breath, that life that holds you, that animates you. And with that, repeat after me. It is so that I
It is
trust in
so.
my ability to uncover hidden truth with myself through exploration and
Exploration.
curiosity. Take a deep
It
breath.
is so.
And Lawrence, you can read that one for us.
It is so that I embrace the unknown with open arms, knowing that there are endless possibilities.
Mm. Take a deep breath. It is so that I am confident in my journey of self exploration, knowing that every step brings me closer to understanding and growth.
Mhm.
And so it is, and now it is.
And now it is.
Ashe. So
Hmm.
I invite Lawrence to do the treatment for us.
Okay. Oh, and it's in this space from having taken these breaths and settled ourselves into who and what we know that we are, that we simply recognize that one source, that one divine essence, that one infinite presence, that one love, that which has caused all that there is to be, that which leads, guides, invites, shows, reveals, that which is the ground of being of my life, that is that which is who and what I am. For I am that expression of the Most High. I am that expression of love, that expression of compassion, of peace, of grace. It is not a becoming, it is an is. For the expression of the Most High is present right now as us, as me, as you. For there is no separation. For we and the Divine One are one. And so I simply proclaim a deepening of awareness, of consciousness of who we are. I simply speak an acceptance without judgment, without evaluation, without ponderance, a complete and total acceptance that who and what we are the expression of the divine. We look not to the outer appearances. We look not at the out picturing, the outplay of our lives. We continue to keep our focus, our awareness and consciousness in that place of the oneness that we are. And it is from that place we move with courage, we move with passion, we move in bravery to engage any and all that is in our presence. And we do so with the love that we are, the love that lives as us. We rest in a place of repose in the heart of God. We allow ourselves to be cemented, anchored into the reality of the expression of who and what that one source has created us to be as an expression of itself. That is the first conversation. That is the fundamental conversation. It's going back to or reminding ourselves of who and what we are and of whom we are. So it's in great gratitude and excitement and blessing that I have the opportunity that we share in this space together, in this communion. And it's in this blessed gratefulness and thankfulness that I release this word into that dynamic of God that always says yes, without question, always. And I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you. And that was a treatment. We call it treatment. For those of you that is your first time here and hearing a treatment, that is an affirmative prayer. Very powerful. We believe in prayer, as we said to you before. And what I want to say to you is that One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you of the truth of who you are and whose you are. So we are here ready to to be your prayer professionals, to know the truth for you. So we ask that you send us your prayers at 844-295-5155, or you can send us an email at onelovecenter.org. And remember that all your prayers are confidential and we keep them for 7 days. We keep praying for you for 7 days. After that time, we stop praying. If you call us back or send us an email, we will continue to pray for you. Otherwise, we'll stop praying. Also, we want to say thank you again for your donations. We are very grateful for your donation. And at this time, if you have not done so, you can take the moment to do your donation, or you can do it whenever you're ready to do it. Whenever you're ready to do it, you can do it. But I want to invite you that when you do your donations, um, you you put that donation, whether it's a credit card or whatever that is, put your hand in your heart, and we're gonna do an affirmation of abundance. And that affirmation of abundance says, "Money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more money, more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good work that this gift do in our center and in our world. And now it is, and so it is, Ashe." And I want you to know that you can send that money directly to us via PayPal. Go to onelove.org and click on the donate button, It's going to take you through the process of putting your information there and do the donation. Or you can also use the Cash Me app, which is very simple, very easy. And if you don't have it, you can upload it into your phone, and you can do it anytime. It just takes a minute, if so. So you can the symbol for our Cash App is $ One Love CSL. That's the easy two ways that you can send us your donations. And remember that we are very appreciative of your donations to us. We could not continue to do this ministry without you. So thank you so much. I also want to take this time to acknowledge those of you that are live, and for those of you that are listening to us later because you're not able to make it right now, we are thinking about you. We are praying about each one of you, and we are grateful for each one of you that are taking the time to join us in this celebration. If you're not receiving our newsletter, please go to our website, sign up so you can get all the details. We are every week we send an email, and you can be up to date with what's going on in our center and within our organization. One Love Center, we are continuously asking for ways for you to share your good, not just in the form of money, but also we are needing a technical assistant in managing our broadcasts. So please, you can have a friend, yourself, or anyone that you know that loves technology and would love to provide their services to One Love Center. They can contact us by going to One Love at onelovecenter.org, or they can give us a call, leave a message, text us 844-295-5155, and so they can be of service. And we're very grateful for that person that is saying yes. We bless you and we thank you. Also, we have two conventions that are coming up. We have the convention that is happening at the beginning of August, from August 1 to the 4th. You can see the website there. Go to that website so you can find out more about the details. Registrations are open. And so this convention is for the people of African descent, New Thought Group. So it's I've heard, I've never been there, but I'm gonna go this year, and I'm looking forward to the experience. So if you're going, we'll meet there. The other thing is I'm also participating at the Chapala Mexico, Chapala, Mexico, the Convention of Las Americas, the Convention of the Americas is a bilingual. It's in Spanish and English. So if you don't speak Spanish, it is translated simultaneously. And I do not have yet the link to registration, but that you can save the date and you can start looking out for flights. So you can come and join us. It is amazing. The first time I was there was 2014, and since then I haven't missed one. The only time I missed was during the pandemic, but we had it virtual, so I was there. So you wouldn't want to miss it. I promise you. Everyone that I have invited and that have come, they always said, "I'm glad I came," and you will too. So I will share the link once the registrations are open on our One Love Center Facebook page or Instagram, and also on our newsletter. So please keep yourself informed of what's going on. And with that being said, I believe that we have completed our celebration for today. And I'm gonna bring back Lawrence so he can join me in saying to you guys, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lawrence. Lawrence, will you
Thank
want to
you.
add a few last words before we leave? Give your information in case people want to get back with you, connect with you, and
Yes, you can always reach me by phone, text at 707-843-8255. 9140. 707-843-9140. Or you can reach me by email at lme.spiritual@gmail.com. lme.spiritual@gmail.com. And Ellen, I want to thank you for inviting me to be with you. It's always a interesting and what's the word I'm looking for? It is high conscious conversations with you always. And I appreciate your heart and your commitment to stay in the center and the flow of the Almighty. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.